how to slice your cost per lead in half. Something that a lot of people, especially on LinkedIn advertising, want to know how to do. Okay. Now, look, just a quick warning. Okay. Your competitors, if you watch this, not only just watch it, but go and implement this strategy that I'm going to walk through really, really quickly in this video. Your competitors are going to absolutely hate you for this, okay? Because it's going to give you such a big advantage when creating advertisements and not just, wasting a bunch of money creating, big videos and high production testimonials and, spending loads of money on ads before you do this one thing that I'm going to walk through, okay? So without further ado, let's get into this and start, kind of going through this training. So 3 words. Okay, 3 words. Dynamic, personalized ads. And this is really what I'm talking about in terms of, the advantage that you can have. So if you go onto LinkedIn and you go onto your profile, I also think this is on the newsfeed as well. So if you go onto your newsfeed, if you look on the right hand side, or if you go onto your profile and look on the right hand side, there'll be this little almost like ad box that you see on the side. As you can see here, I kind of screenshotted my profile. I at the time had Joseph. It said Joseph explore relevant opportunities with Mothercare. Okay, some of the ads are really, really random, like this one, but you can go really, really targeted with these types of ads. Okay, now, if you look at this ad, there's not really much to it, right? There's an image, there's the company logo, there's the little description at the top, but apart from that, it's really just the headline that we're looking at here, okay? Now, the idea behind these ads and kind of, what I'm really alluding to with this is that, a lot of B2B companies, right, they'll kind of look at, LinkedIn advertising, they'll maybe run a campaign, and they'll, end up wasting tens, and even I've seen companies waste, hundreds of thousands of dollars or pounds, depending where you're based, on, ad campaigns that, had never been tested. They just ran one creative, wasted tens of thousands of dollars. And, now they've kind of come to the conclusion that, oh, well, LinkedIn advertising is too expensive, doesn't work, right? And to me, it's no wonder, I mean, apart from the fact that so many companies' ads are just disgustingly horrible in how they structure them, but number two, there's no prior research that's being done to really understand, what the market wants, okay? And, what I mean by this is by using these types of ads initially, they're called dynamic personalized ads here on LinkedIn. What you can do is you can show an ad, just like this one, where really the main focus of this ad is the headline, okay? So let's say for instance, let's go for your software is for agency owners, okay? What you can do is a bit of a test, okay? And I'll kind of explain this in a minute. Let's say you've got a software, built for agency owners, okay? And you want to really understand, what is it that, agency owners are really kind of struggling with, okay? Well, a really, really great way to kind of understand that before you go and run a big campaign or go and create some crazy video, a really easy way to understand that is by running these dynamic personalized ads and targeting agency owners and using, lots of different headlines in lots of different ads and, lots of different kind of variations of headlines. And really, the aim of that, the point of this is not really trying to get sales. It's more to kind of, really try and understand what agency owners are struggling with, okay? So you're gonna kind of create headlines where each and every single headline has a different kind of framework and a different it's kind of touching on a different pain, okay? So I'll kind of show you an example here of what I mean. So in this example, I've used Upserve. Now, I actually featured these guys in one of my LinkedIn ad makeover shows, so I thought I'd just quickly feature them here. So basically what I mean by this is kind of step number one is, first of all, before you even touch LinkedIn advertising or what I call the DPA campaigns, dynamic personalized ad campaigns, what you need to do, you and your marketing team just, come up with, I'd probably say 15 to 20, if you want to come up with more, 20, 30 different headlines, okay, that touch on, slightly different pains, okay, or that kind of come at your product from a slightly different angle, okay? And the point of coming up with all these different headlines is to really kind of gauge, what your, what, if we look at, and I think observe for restaurant owners, okay? So the point of doing this is we're really trying to understand, what restaurant owners, or, using the example I used, agency owners, okay, what their pain really is. What type of language are they most receptive to, okay? And by using these ads, it's the best way to do that, because all, you know, these types of ads, the main focus is the copy. It is the writing. It's not the image. It's not the, it is just the writing. Okay. So by using these campaigns, and by testing lots of different headlines, very, very quickly, we're able to understand, okay, maybe, if it goes to number two, maybe we identify that, headline number two, ad number two, the headline that reads, still using a POS system built for the 90s, not 2020. Maybe we identify that that's the best angle, or that's the best headline, okay, that we want to run with. Okay, so really the point of doing this is we're really trying to understand the pain of the market, okay? Because, for instance, these guys observe they're a POS system, okay? So some different pains maybe, maybe the restaurant owners right now, they've got a really, really outdated POS system, so we could create a headline around that. Or maybe, maybe their current POS system doesn't have the, features and capabilities they need. So that could be another headline, okay? And really what we're trying to do there, to kind of reiterate that, is we're trying to understand what the, in this case, restaurant owners, what they're going to be most receptive to, okay? What they're really, I guess like the pain that they're really trying to solve, okay? And the point of doing this is that, like I said, these ads, it's really about copy. It's really about the headline, okay? So once we identify, by running this campaign over, 2-3 weeks, once we've identified the winning headline, we can then go and create, a video. We can then go and create like a bigger campaign that will run in the newsfeed, okay? Knowing exactly what our market is going to be most receptive to in terms of the headline. And by the way, you may get some sales from this. You may get people clicking, and that's why, retargeting can come in, and you can do things like that. But the point of this campaign is not so much sales in the front end. It's more really trying to understand, headline number one that speaks about, in this case, restaurant owners, having a outdated POS system. It's about identifying, okay, that's the problem they're facing. It's not, that their current POS system doesn't have the capabilities, okay? So the point of doing this is it's trying to understand the angle that you're going to come at when you run your main LinkedIn or, Facebook ad campaign. Okay, so this thing, by running these campaigns, by running this DPA campaign, it's not that expensive. You're not having to spend, tens of thousands of dollars to really kind of, get this going. This is not your, your kind of big main campaign. The idea behind doing this is you're really trying to understand, like I said, what your market is going to be most receptive to. What your market is, when you say in the headline, in this case, having an outdated POS system, you're really trying to see, what headlines are really going to kind of make them, sit up and actually click. Okay, so that's kind of, I think, if more people started doing this before they started running, crazy expensive campaigns, and started just, putting tens of thousands of dollars behind campaigns, I think they'd see much, much better results, okay? Because with platforms like LinkedIn, where, it is a little bit more expensive, okay? If you just go onto it, blind, and you just start running campaigns, like, yeah, no wonder you're going to lose a lot of money, okay? LinkedIn advertising is so, I think a lot more than Facebook. It's so much, it's very, very important that you get the targeting and the creative matched correctly. And what I mean by that is, your copy really has to speak to one type of person, and that copy has to really kind of, they've got to read that copy, okay, and really feel like it relates with them, okay? Because, if you think about in the B2C world, you can have a product that's, that's for, 10 million people, right? Whereas and it's for lots of different people, right? Whereas when you're running, these types of campaigns where you're, where you've got a software product that's just for one type of person, if your copy, if there's a point in your copy where it or in the creative, in the video, where it doesn't quite speak to them, okay, that's going to affect it massively. Okay, so when you're literally just targeting one type of person, it could be if your software's for CMOs, if your software's for restaurant owners in these guys' case, agency owners, okay, it's really got to speak to that person that's going to be purchasing the software. Okay, so when you're going about LinkedIn advertising, because of the types of targeting you can do, running this kind of DPA campaign before, where you're really trying to identify the kind of winning headline, the winning angle. Okay, it gives you such a big advantage kind of going into a bigger campaign, because exactly the best angle to come at it from, the I guess like the pains of the market, what the market is most receptive to, the types of language, the types of language that the market is most receptive to. So it's a really kind of powerful way to quickly identify the market's needs. Okay, now like I said, so obviously you've run the campaign 3-4 weeks, find the winning headline. And then step 3 is to kind of use that winning headline to base the framework of your feed ad campaign off. Okay, so what I mean by that is, let's say for example, going back to that example, maybe we identify that restaurant owners, they're using really, really outdated software and they want a new software. Okay, so that's the problem. Okay, and we figure out that that is that's getting 20 times more clicks than all the other headlines. Okay, what we will then do is we will take that headline, take that like winning ad, winning campaign, mini campaign, and then that will become I guess like the main framework for what all the video campaigns are structured around, for what all the kind of like feed ad campaigns are structured around, what all the Facebook ad campaigns are structured around. Okay, so it's really about by doing this, it's really about identifying the angle to kind of come at it from, that the market is going to be most receptive to. Okay, if you guys have got any questions about this, because I know it is quite confusing, just let me know. Comment below. I can kind of further iterate if you've got any questions or anything that doesn't quite make sense. So one thing I'm going to kind of run through really, really quickly is how your LinkedIn ad kind of campaign timeline should look based upon what I've kind of just walked through. So before you go and touch any LinkedIn campaigns, even any ad campaigns, okay, the first thing to do by following this kind of process that I ran through there is you need to kind of have some like strategy time. You need to have some what I call headline creation time, right? Where you just whether it's with your marketing team, with your marketing manager, you just sit there and you create 20, 30 different headlines. Okay, now once you've got them headlines, you then go to LinkedIn and you start running this kind of DPA campaign where you're testing for a few weeks lots of different headlines, using them dynamic personalized ads, the ones you're seeing here. And then from there, once you've ran the campaign for 3-4 weeks, you then identify that headline number 2 is the winning headline, okay, for example, and then once you've identified the winning headline, that then becomes the framework, okay, for your kind of bigger ad campaigns. And then your bigger ad campaigns are all structured around that headline, okay? So it's a really, really effective way of, before you end up spending, tens of thousands of dollars on, big budget campaigns, it's a really, really great way of understanding, which what the market is going to be most receptive to. Okay, a big mistake that lots and lots of B2B companies make is they go and spend tens of thousands of dollars on ad campaigns, cool videos and images and photos. Especially videos that can get really, really expensive. And the problem with doing that is you end up running these campaigns kind of hoping that it's going to work, right? But then you realize that it didn't really work, and then you've wasted $10,000 on the video, and you've just kind of poured a lot of money down the drain, basically. Okay, so it's really, really important that before you go and run some big ad campaign and you spend tens of thousands of dollars on a big video, really, really understand the framework to base that campaign off, and you do that by identifying the winning headline. Okay, and then the final step, once you've got this campaign going, okay, and really kind of understood what the market is most receptive to, you can then launch the retargeting campaign. Okay, so guys, like I said, if you've got any questions about this process, I know it's been quite a quick video, but if you've got any questions about kind of what I've gone through, just let me know in the comments, and I'll kind of get back to you, and like I said, just PM me or comment below. Okay, so guys, I will see you probably in the next episode of the LinkedIn Ad Makeover Show. See ya.